Well, my background is that I was a boat person. I was 1.5 when we left Vietnam in 1979, and we arrived in Australia 8 or 9 months later. Because for me, it's not necessarily the case because I was a refugee or boat person that I immediately have sympathy for all refugees and boat people. I have empathy. I can put myself in their shoes, and that's probably worth a lot. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I think that everyone who's gone through those experiences is somehow worthy, honourable and heroic. Whereas in the past it was pretty easy. You go to the good old book and you say, we should look after these people, we should be generous to these people. What book are progressives turning to? How are they articulating their support for asylum seekers? Because it's not like they're just waiting in Indonesia or in Pakistan and they're totally happy and safe. So it doesn't necessarily mean if there's no boats that things are working. So I'm not about to come here and say I have the policy answers for everything. Sure. But what I would say is, if we take some heat out of it, if we deal with it in a genuinely mature manner, then it won't be a matter of always, it's really childish and counterproductive to always talk about solutions and this government fixing the problem. It's not going to happen. I mean, the simple way to view it is look at the shift in the nomenclature, the name of the immigration department over the last 15 years. We've gone from DIMIA, Department of Immigration, Multiculturalism and Indigenous Affairs, to DIAC, the Department of Immigration and Citizenship. So there's more of a naturalisation. We're moving towards immigration's all about creating Australian citizenship, and now it's the Department of Immigration and Border Protection. So even if we stop the boats, that doesn't mean that people aren't going to die. They're going to die of other means. A lot of them will try to get into other places. If people come by boats, we should process them in Australia and probably in metropolitan centres where it's the cheapest to do so. Here's one thing we could probably do differently with Indonesia is have a genuine dialogue. We struggle because it feels colonial, I think, sometimes. It feels like we've got the values, we've got the capabilities, you don't. We've got things to teach you that you don't have to teach us. Now, if you can stick with refugees, as I understand the research shows, that they give you a pretty good return. And not just in an economic sense, because as you said, entrepreneurial, they're looking to make their life better, so that's good in the economic sense. But in the patriotic sense, that I know it's difficult to take in refugees and there's concerns about them that are genuine and that make sense, but it also makes sense to invest in them for the better of Australia.
Well, a question from me to close.